Met him on the field down at SoFi, where you drink champagne and it tastes just like Coca-Cola. Cola Cola. He walked up to me wearing that 17. I asked his name, and in a light brown voice he said, Puka. Latd, Puka. Na 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 Kua. Well, I'm not dumb, but I can't understand why Marv walks like a woman and Pete talks like a man. Oh, my Puka. Latd Puka. I'm putting it out there for the nickname. Welcome into the pod, everybody. BS show. We got April 10th. We're just spitballing. We don't even have a script for this show. We're just gonna go at it. We're gonna talk some prospects, some real football, and talk about just everything we possibly want to today. Smitty, how you doing?
Dude, I'm all right. Trust me. Every time you want to start the show with any type of LA phrase, especially when it comes to Puka Nakua, I am here for it. So thank you.
Man, Smitty, I gotta tell you, Puka's become one of my favorite players. We just talked about this before we hit record. I literally looked at my most rostered players, and I've got 10 shares of Puka. And Smitty, man, I legitimately didn't draft him anywhere. I went out and traded for Puka over the last year or so in all these leagues. So he's got it, man. He's got the hair, he's got the style. I like it. Puka, I love you, man. Why can't you be a Cardinal, Puka? Why couldn't we draft you, Puka? Oh,
You know what's so sad? I think about this all the time. Literally anybody, any team, at least four times over, could have picked Puka. But that combine, he had a terrible combine, and what can you do?
I don't know where McVay gets these dudes. Like he goes out, and the same thing with Cooper Cup. Like anybody could have drafted him. I don't know what round, but I mean, I know it was not in the first or second round. I don't think so. I mean, he just does it. They turned him in, but man, Puka, he's out there saying like he's going to retire early. I think he said at 30, or I think he said that. How do you feel as an LA fan? Because I dig it, man. Puka, do your thing.
I mean, of course I respect it, but realistically, there are so many players that are going past 10 years. I mean, Tyreek Hill's still out here. We got Devontae Adams at year 8, year 9, approaching 10. I mean, if Puka really wanted to, even though he plays so freaking tough and so freaking aggressive, maybe 10 is all he got, really, especially the way he plays. But dude, go further. But I understand. I love his reasoning though. He kind of wants to do what our Aaron Donald did and just make sure he has time for his family if he ends up having a family, which it seems like he wants. So I respect it, but he can go further.
Yeah, I agree. So anyway, let's talk about real life. Let's talk about what we're doing in fantasy. Samantha, talk to me about your off season so far. We're about ready to get going with the draft, and by now we're going to be in rookie drafts in no time. And let's just talk about the off season. So, what? Tell me about yours.
So there are many different builds in how I'm trying to and what I want from this guy, but I'm trying to acquire Anthony Richardson anywhere. I just want more Anthony Richardson. And like, here's the truth. I understand that there's a serious possibility that he's the backup, and even worse, right? But God, that floor is just so. I mean, that ceiling is just so attractive to me. It's just so attractive.
All right, let's see where you're at. I got a team where we share a league in.
Okay.
I've got a Rich on this. What are you doing at DGens these days?
Oh wow. You know what? That's a team that I took a break after I got smacked up out of that. After I got smacked up out of the playoffs, I kind of started crying. So let's see what we got there. I know I got the two Bama Bros with Jalen Hurts and Bryce Young. Probably gonna keep both of those. Outside of them, there's Fields and Russell. Ugh. Would you want any of them for Mr. A Rich there?
No, but I want Jalen Hurts.
Oh, see there, see there. See, this is what people don't understand. Anthony Richardson is not a cheap. Is not cheap. He's actually surprisingly more difficult than anything to acquire because nobody sees him as. Honestly, no one sees him at the price at Daniel Jones' price, which he probably should be truly rated, but no one sees him as that cheap because we all really do hope and believe in that ceiling. So I don't know. It's been a struggle trying to acquire him, but I have pulled it off in some ways. And many would say overpaid, but I'm pretty happy to have him. Like, I remember you telling me you have about a 25% share, but that was, a little earlier, and that's just how you ended up with now. I would like to get to that point, but it's going to take a lot of work. So that's one of
All
my
right,
outside
well, all
things.
right, man. Let's work this out. We weren't even going to talk about this tonight, but seriously, I want Jalen Hurts.
We all do. I mean, he's a Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP, I even think. I actually have
Uh,
no idea who's the MVP of that game. It should be Saquon, right? No,
it should it should have been
he didn't even
Saquon.
get a touchdown, actually. So it has to be Hurts.
All right, we'll figure that out later. All right, anyone else you're going after? Anybody else you've been adding? Because I've been adding Puka, I've been adding Njoku. I just got a share of Njoku, and I'm super pumped. I put it on a team that's got nothing but my favorite players. I did build one team, and it's actually my favorite league. So he just slotted in with a my dude, and I'm super excited about it. But what are you excited about, man?
All right, well, in my competitive teams, I have yet to do this because his price has gone up since he signed with LA. But God, I feel like the the wide receiver two floor for Devontae Adams is gonna be nice. It's gonna probably remind a lot of people of Terry McLaurin, I think, and I hope. So I'm pretty interested in Devontae Adams, but unfortunately, as you see, my name is Smitty LAR. So every time you see LAR and I'm trying to acquire a Ram, there's always, always, always attacks. So I gotta work, I gotta work with that, maybe work around it, but it's tough.
See, I agree. I'm big on Adams this year. Like he still has it. Now, does he have wide receiver one in him? No, but he can ball out for one more year. But I never thought I would say this. I do have a Puka problem because everywhere I have Puka, I have Stafford, and I'm not going to go try trade to acquire and have two of them. But this could be a year that both of them ball. I mean, Stafford's going to feed them. But does it devalue Puka? That's what I'm curious about. If Adams has a really good year, can Puka go to be a top five wide receiver this year as well? Like, can they support two wide receiver ones?
Well, I mean, look, Devontae Adams is definitely no Cup. He's gonna be a lot more consistent than Cup. And when Cup had his best games, Puka did not. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. The answer probably actually is no. It's going to be one or the other. And boy, do we know Stafford likes to hyper target a guy. So I'm gonna just say right now, both won't be supported. It's going to be one or the other. It is going to actually be frustrating. And Sean McVay is going around saying that he wants Tutu Atwell in the mix for seriousness. Like it might even get muddier. But above all, Puka's ability is just gonna it's gonna outshine everything. So Puka's the one you want.
I honestly don't think I care if Puka drops a little bit and it goes out to be wide receiver 6 or 7. I mean, or 8. I mean, I don't think I really matter. I don't think I really care. I think I'll be happy with that. I'll be like, okay. I mean, you're going to get your spike weeks, so I think I'm happy with that. Hopefully, I'm not a fool. But let's talk some real football. We're going into the draft process here. What teams this offseason have done the job and you're starting to get excited to see? Because first for me, Smitty, I'm going to say I'm really excited for the Bears right now.
Yeah.
I think that's a team that I'm like uber excited about. I'm really excited about the Patriots right now. Like
Oh,
extremely excited about that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited to watch Cincinnati play football on offense next year because
that's all
I'm
they need.
telling you, they could put up 50 points a game. And I know it's the same offense as last time, but like I don't know. I think there's something different this year. I think it's even going to be better. But that's kind of what I've been looking. That I think I'm looking forward to going into the season so far. But how about you?
So I never thought I'd say this because quietly I can't stand them, especially when we share the same bar. I think the Raiders are starting to figure things out, dude. Like, what one of the coolest things they did was, even though it frustrated me to no end, was they went best player available with their first round pick. If they do that again and get Genty, I mean, this offense is going to be sick. This offense is
Is
going to be
Genty going to be
sick.
there? Is
Say
he going
what?
to be there at the? Is Genty going to be there at the 6, or is someone going to trade up to the 5 to get him?
Oh God, that's a fantastic question. I'm gonna have to take a look at I'm gonna have to take a look at the draft order, but I mean honestly, I do think people should try trading up for him because when six hits, it's I think that they're locked in with Jinty because that is the best move the Raiders could possibly make. And I actually honestly I sat down and thought about it. This situation is so much better for Geno Smith because he doesn't have to deal with the freaking he doesn't have to deal with a freaking diva like DK, and he doesn't even have to deal with a rookie. Like, I mean, yeah, obviously he has to deal with Bowers, but he doesn't have to deal with like someone as but someone like Jason. He doesn't have to deal with that. He just kind of got vets and real men all around him, and it's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting. All they need is a run game, and then they're gonna be like at least in the hunt. I'm gonna say that they're gonna be in the hunt,
Yeah.
maybe even
Yeah, so,
playoffs for
so
sure.
you got you got my ADD brain going here because I'm sick and twisted right now, Smitty. I've been doing a lot of best ball drafts already.
Okay.
I've nailed out probably about 20 best balls already,
Ooh, oh, you
and
started. Okay, you're in it now.
I'm really getting into it because I'm enjoying these builds like big time. Because one, you know me, I love going zero RB regardless, unless it's like points per carry big and things like that.
Hmm.
But all these rookie backs, dude, all these guys were like, they're all there late. It's so fun to get your Hampton shares, your Neil shares, like, and you start putting them in there. So, but what I've been thinking about while I'm doing these drafts, like, there's so many competent running backs. Like, there's so many. Do running backs actually get pushed down in the draft because of that? Where teams that are drafting at 6, 7, 8, 9, are they sitting there saying, well, dude, I can get a really good running back, maybe not a generational one, but a really good one in the second or third round? So I'm getting worried that that's going to push running backs down, but I hope it doesn't. I hope Genty goes friggin' high. I really do.
I mean, he deserves to be, and honestly, teams like I love the ideas. Teams should be considering to trade up to the fifth to get him. But yes, I think you're absolutely right. I think this does push the Hamptons, the Hendersons, the Chamberlains. It pushes them all down, which means we're gonna see a lot of 1A, 1B situations, and I
That's
might be
football
okay with that.
now. That's football now,
But you're
baby.
right. I think it's gonna push a lot of players down.
So do we only have one running back drafted in the first round then? Because I mean, we look at these mocks, and I mean, Hampton's projected all over the place to Chicago. He's projected to Dallas. He's projected to Denver. Then Henderson, same thing. Denver somewhere in there. I mean, are we only going to get one? You think?
So we're for sure gonna get Genty, right? But I don't know. I really, if you ask me, I've been thinking about how to tier these freaking rookie running backs all week. If you ask me, if you miss out on Genty, you will still smile like a freaking child if you get a Hampton like at the 26th pick. I'm just I'm not saying goodbye Kyron, but if he's at the 26th, like why are we not smashing on Hampton? Anyways, I'm saying Hampton's great. Hampton's great. I think he should be a first round pick, but if not, that's incredible value in the second.
Yeah, I think this has the potential of being in the top of running back classes ever, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Like you just go down the list, and that's why like I'm looking at my picks, and I'm looking at some picks that are like 305, 307 this year, and usually I want to punt that to the following year. But I'm looking at that, I'm like, there might be 24 running backs that might be actually useful coming out of college this year that can just plug into the B, and you're like, sweet, zero RB. They get 8 touches a game. Excellent. Give me 15 points. So I might be holding on to those. I might be holding on to those picks this year. It's kind of crazy. Like, and we did a mock, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks ago, but who are we getting at the 209, 210, 211? Like, who are we getting there? Do you remember?
Could be anyone, dude. It could be. I have no idea. It could be anybody, and it honestly could be a steal at the 209.
Yeah.
It could
Nice.
be a steal to the point where I literally traded away my 307 the other day, and today I'm starting to feel regretful because it's like, dang,
What'd
that
you trade it for?
I don't even remember. I think it was a throw in. I don't, it was involved in a Joe Milton trade. I forgot what the situation was, but yeah, after I lost it, I'm like, dang, that could have had a little more value than I thought.
So I was trying to get a trade the other day, and I was thinking about trading for Jalen Warren or Jalen Warren,
Ooh,
and
okay.
I'm like, you know, he's right now he's starting running back, right? Right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't even want to give up the 207. I think I have the same dude there.
You do. You're absolutely you do. Dude, I'm actually that's so funny you say that because I was thinking about acquiring him for the 211. I'm like, oh, that might be rich. And that's funny because maybe we're just overhyping these picks because truth be told, we have been waiting for Jalen Warren to be in this exact position where he is now the veteran older guy who's gonna lead the offense. Maybe it's worth it.
The last 2 years we've been here, he's taking it over from Najee. He's taking it over from Najee. And I love the guy. I do have a lot of shares of him, but sorry. All right, let's figure out where this tier break is for like mid to late second rounders.
Okay.
Rashad White or the 205?
You know what? I'm sorry. I gotta go 205, but I understand. I gotta go 205, but I understand that Rashad White is probably the same guy. I get it, but 205.
Okay. How about Travis Etienne or the 204?
I love that. I love that a lot. I'm gonna go ETN. I think I'm gonna go ETN. But you said 204. That could be.
That
I
could be
mean,
Cam Scatterbo, maybe. That
that
could
is a
be
Cam Gecko mix.
Neil Martinez.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
it depends on what the situation is. If I'm trying to be competitive, ETN. If I'm not, then the pick.
okay. How about Brian Robinson or the 206?
206. Unfortunately, a blurb came out today that the Commanders are looking for a. I wish I had the exact word, but they're looking for a dog running back in the draft. They're looking to do that, which is so annoying because B Rob is a dog, but whatever.
Wow, man, this is wild. This is how good the running back class is. Um, who would you take? Who would you trade the 203 for a running back? What running backs out there?
Okay, the 203. See, because we're Cam people. We love Cam Scatterbo.
Zach Charbonnet. What second round pick are you getting for Zach Charbonnet? He's your dude. This is your dude.
Yeah, this is another guy I am trying to acquire all over the place. Even harder to acquire than Average, if you can believe it. Like he's tough, but shoot.
I would just rather a second round pick.
I don't. 206 is where I'm probably gonna lean more Charbonnet, but it's still gonna be a tough. 207, yes, fine. I'd rather take Charbonnet than 207. So 206 is where I'm the most concerned. Like I don't know. I'll
You're a
feel.
sick man. You're a
What about
sick
you?
man. I might be sick with you there. You're a sick man. I think that's like the cutoff then, right?
Yeah, I mean, because we want these guys to be Charbonnet, honestly.
Jalen Wright. What are you giving up for Jalen Wright if you want to get him? You
Oh, hold on.
know he's a guy that I've rostered everywhere from last year, and I'm very excited about this year.
Uh, it'd be third round picks. It'd be thirds.
You're nuts, dude. I'd throw a second to try to get in that backfield.
So
I get it.
there's prospects that are very similar to him. That I don't know. We just the unfortunate thing about Wright is that he's behind Buzz Lightyear, Buzz H or Devon Achon. One of these prospects is probably not even be behind a dog like him. They might be behind a DeAndre Swift. You know.
Oof.
It's a real mystery box. So we don't know.
Should you take a shot on Swift? Let's talk about
No,
Chi-Town. I
actually, I
said
really
I'm so excited for him. Like I really am. New coach, we got it. New offensive line, sweet. Everyone's hyped on Rome, 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 Rome to the moon. Um, what you got there? Talking about Swift. What would you do?
no, I think what's his name? Ben Johnson is gonna want his version of his discount version of Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, and thankfully they already have a David Montgomery and Roshan Johnson, so they're probably gonna look for a speedy guy. And Swift, despite his name, I think they want to upgrade and get younger, and I would totally do that if I was honestly.
Okay. I don't think Roshan Johnson should ever be in quotation marks for one thing. And two, I also don't think he should ever be compared to David Montgomery either.
Look, look, all I'm saying is that they want to go cheaper and younger. That's just what I think they're trying to do. That was rude of me.
Yeah, that was rude to football, actually.
That was really, yeah, that was off. I ain't gonna lie.
Where are you at on Rome?
On Rome, I look. He's a guy. Okay, if we're talking about what type of picks I would trade for him. 106, probably. I'm gonna start there, and if that doesn't work, then
106. So, who in this draft class do you have rated above Rome if he was coming out this year? We could start with Genti. Yeah, so let's say Rome was coming out of college this year. Same hype as last year. Where do you got him? I mean, I got
uh,
Genti one, obviously, but what do you got after that?
give me Genty, dude. Yeah, Hampton. Oh my god. Ooh, I love me Hampton. Uh,
Hampton, Smitty, you're
Shotgun.
biased. You're biased against the production this year. If we go back to draft season last year, we were talking about all these wide receivers. BT
Yep.
Jr. was the four, Marv, Neighbors, Rome, the third. If that hype of him coming out of college, he would be the 102 this year. He'd be the 102, Smitty.
You know what? You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right because he was part of the big three, and Hampton, he's kind of part of the big two, but it's questionable. You're right. I guess I would rather have Rome, but man, there is a bias here. There, love the D, but you're right, Rome. So 102, yeah, because I for surely would want him over. I for surely would want Rome over Tabitha.
Yep. Um, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but actually, let's talk about it now. Warren. Let's talk about Tyler
Ooh,
Warren.
I'm excited for
So,
this.
all right, let's do this. I've been wanting to get going, just spitball some ideas, but obviously, if we're in a tight end premium, 1 point extra tight end premium, um,
Oh,
I
okay,
1 point. We're talking 1 point here. Okay. Now we're also going to talk some real football with this one as well. But 1 point, I actually 100% would prefer him over Rome coming out right now. Um, but I think we need to start giving this man some credit. I could make the argument that he is the best offensive weapon coming out of this draft over Genti. And the reason I said, just think about it. I'm not saying he is, but if we're going to talk real football, the tight end that you can get, look at all the Gronk years, look at all the Jimmy Graham years, the Travis Kelsey years, like what you can do from an NFL standpoint and have the advantage in the tight end is worth much more than the running back. I don't even care if it's a generational talent because I would just take from a schematic standpoint a generational talent at tight end than running back. But everybody thinks generational, general. Why is no one giving Warren as much props as possibly being one of the best players in this draft? Not that he should be drafted in number one overall, but think about it. Talk to me because I'm kind of getting there. This guy's good.
No, okay. I think what it is after looking at all these mock drafts, people are not at all excited about the fact that he might end up with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones at in the on the Colts, or even the Jets, which I think is better than expected. But I don't know. We're not loving his landing spot. At least that's one of my biggest hangups for sure. I am not.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he gets past the Jets, dude. I'm not. I
Dang.
think
Okay.
that's
Wow.
you got to realize. Look at Justin Fields. Like, what does Justin Fields need? One, they're going to try to run the ball, but he needs weapons that just help him. He's not the thrower that some other quarterbacks are. Like that tight end is a perfect complement to trying to build around Justin Fields to possibly be your franchise quarterback.
Do you think Jacksonville is going to pull that trigger at 5?
I want it. I'm telling you, I've been telling you I want this. I
Yeah.
want Genti or Warren. We were doing mocks. I want it so bad. It makes so much sense. I understand their needs and what they need. But you put BT Jr., you put a like truly. Here we go. Here's his stats.
Okay.
Last year he went 104 receptions for 1,233 yards for 8 touchdowns. Now we're gonna sit back and say Tet McMillan, which he doesn't like going by Tet, so I have to give an Arizona man credit. We're gonna call him McMillian for right now. He went for 84 receptions. I get it, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns, but 107 receptions out of the Big Ten. That's a big deal. Like I remember last year when we were talking about Brock Bowers and Nick Saban was doing that interview, and he just says, "There's two people in the SEC that are an effing problem." Bowers, and Neighbors. Like, I feel if Nick Saban was talking about this man, he would say he's an effing problem for defenses. And I just think he's good. I mean, I would love him. Look how much we love McBeast. Like, look at all the tight ends we love and what they do for these quarterbacks. Just draft them, man. Like, draft them.
Dude, your love for Warren is starting to wear off on me because I might want him to go 3 years. No, okay, I understand. I mean, okay,
He's
so
not going three.
he's not. He's not. That's too ridiculous. But like,
Wait, who's three?
imagine
Is
he passed the
it?
Jets.
Wait, is the Patriots three?
Yeah. No, no, no. The Giants
Oh,
are 3. I'm sorry. The Giants are 3. Patriots are 4.
okay, okay, maybe.
No, but
I mean,
I mean, they can get one of the later guys, and honestly, they can get a dog later.
yeah, man. Imagine if he just fell to Washington. How excited would you be about Warren?
I lose my mind, but I just that's that I don't see it happening
All right.
unless
So
they.
you're staring down the barrel of a gun in a 1 point premium. You have the 101. Two tight ends start.
Okay,
What are you doing? Genty or Warren? I'm drafting Warren.
that is so ballsy.
I'm
I mean, like,
absolutely drafting Warren in that format.
but here's the thing, like Genty, what one of the things that makes him so good is that he's so freaking hard to tackle. Like that, I feel like the way he does it is going to last a long time, like a long time, like in the dynasty league. So I feel great about that for at least 3 years.
Okay.
I really
So
do, and that's like a really great position. Now, am I gonna miss out on? I'm gonna miss out on Warren, sure, but I can get Zach Ertz. You know, I can get Evan Ingram. Like there are other guys I won't really be upset. Like I don't know how to put it. The tear down for tight end is very okay with me.
okay. Two tight end, 1 point premium.
I get it, but
Hold on. And you have Brock Bowers. And someone sends you a trade for Jahmyr Gibbs for Brock Bowers. I guarantee you decline that trade.
you're right. You're right.
And I'm not saying Warren's going to be is Brock Bowers. I'm saying
And
there's
Chenty's
a
so good.
path to being that.
Yep. That was a fantastic way to put it. That was a great way to put it. Wow, that changes almost everything. That changes everything. I don't know if I'm gonna have the balls to do it on draft day, but
I would
it makes a lot of sense.
even if I had Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, and mm, TJ Hawkinson. Those three tight ends in that format, start 11. I'm still drafting the tight end first. Even though I got those dogs, I am going to put my foot down and hope that I get 100 receptions out of four of those tight ends or three of those tight ends and just double down.
I get it. I get it. It's the truth is I'm just pretty tired and agnostic. In fact, going back to our earlier question about players I'm trying to acquire, I, I want to see if John Smith can keep up what he's doing and if he can keep up what he did last year. So I don't know. I'm okay with the tear down for tight end, but that makes a lot of sense what you're saying.
So the maybe the real answer is you trade back to the 102.
Yeah, yeah, I would.
So if I got the 101 and it's not in the TR, you know what league out there, Fantasy Chad, different format, way different format. But if I got the 101, if you have the 102 and you'd like to come up and get Genty, I will take anything you would like to give me, even if it's a 10th rounder. Like literally a rookie 10th rounder, which don't even exist. I'm joking, but second, whatever, I
Yeah,
take it.
because you're gonna draft Warren at
Wow.
dude. That's a great move, honestly.
Dude, Fantasy Chad's gonna kill me. He wants my 101 so bad in that league. And I think it's a 0.25 per carry league. And then you get a half a point for first down and for running backs. You get an
Oh,
additional
oh,
0.25 for receptions. And I'm like, no. I'm
oh,
like, no, this is the league that Genty will be the 101 forever, no matter what.
oh yeah. I love that. Those settings are something else. Woo.
he keeps DM me. He's like, "Hey, you ready to move that?" I'm just like, "No." I was like, I promised him, I'm cool. I'm like, if I move that, I will reach out to him first, but he definitely wants that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Pats, and then we'll get into some player breakdowns here, since another one that I'm really excited about. Does Drake May Actually, we need to back up and talk about Rome real quick again. I'm sorry, I moved on too early. Is Rome going to break out this year?
I mean, hot, as much as this guy was like a my dude last year, but thank God that Keenan Allen is out the way. Now Rome could finally be built. And it's gonna take the off season. So yeah, he's breaking out for sure. Like this feels like such a guarantee now because it was so annoying how Keenan Allen was doing all of this stuff that we really wanted Rome to do. And he was doing it as a fatty. Remember when people were saying that Keenan Allen was a fat boy in the offseason? Well, the fat boy gone now. So now Rome could be. I'm excited. So yeah, I feel like the breakout's for sure happening. Plus that offensive line. Ooh.
I'm I'm torn right now, Smitty,
Oh.
because I love Rome. This is a pro Rome podcast. I really think things get better, but I'm staring it down. I'm thinking about it, and you know how I always talk about the windows to sell, if you miss them, the windows to sell. Like
It's a
if
great point.
Rome, if Rome isn't that guy, you can get a haul for him right now. Yeah, I mean, you really can get some things done. I'm just saying, so one of the wide receivers has to bust from last year's draft class. Like somebody has to bust, right? And
Yeah.
so far everybody else hasn't. And he actually, never mind, Marv walks like a woman, and but Marv looked much better than Rome last year, bro.
He
All right.
was. Yeah, no, seriously. When Mar played at Los Angeles, that mofo had a games. I mean, goodness. I think he even had like a couple. I remember he scored two touchdowns back to back. That really, I lost it. So yeah, you're right. Rome didn't even do that. Or, well, not back to back, but he had a couple big games.
So these are the types of things that Rome can do for you right now. And
Okay.
let me pull up this trade that I did in the Rumble, Smitty.
Ooh.
Um, I got a lot of people that think that this wasn't a good trade for me, but it was. So in this league, I have Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison, Justin Jefferson. I also had Drake London. I had Roma Doomsday, and I wanted to get a top five wide receiver. And I realized Drake could possibly do that. I realized Rome could possibly do that. But I want, if he stays healthy, a sure thing. And I went and got Puka. So the trade that I did is I got Puka Nakua, Zach Charbonnet, the 202 this year, a 2026 projected late, but best case scenario for me, it's going to be mid. I highly doubt it. And I gave Drake London, Tyler Algier, Roma Doomsday, and a 306. This trade was more about the risk off and me pulling a piece out of my portfolio of Rome than it even was about getting Puka. So you can get a top five wide receiver with Roma Doomsday if you do it right. What do you think of that trade? Did we talk about that trade ever? I don't even know
I
what we
mean,
talked.
to be honest with you, I absolutely love it because you got yourself a Puka share and he's a dog. And then also you swapped out. Okay, look. Puka, is he worth? Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Puka plus the 202, which I can't believe still, is for sure worth the Rome and Drake London combo. Okay, I feel like you got over on that side. And then when we do Algier and Charbonnet, I think, yeah, I like your side a lot, to be honest.
And the other side of it was I'm getting exhausted of Drake London. I get it. I Nobody has loved Drake London more than me. It's just exhausting. And I'm like, it's not exhausting unless you're not playing Puka because he's injured. It's not exhausting having Puka. It's really fun. Um, but yeah, no. So I put that wide receiver room together: Justin Jefferson, Puka Nakua, Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison, and
Sheesh.
then I'm running Xavier Worthy, Debo Samuel, and Jaden Reed in that one. So I'm super pumped. All right, New England Patriots. Talk to me. What are we doing?
Dude,
Maniac, maniac.
I feel like they didn't do enough in the offseason. I feel like they didn't do enough for free agency, so I'm gonna need to see some sparks on draft day. And I mean some sincere sparks. Like I need to see something happen because I'm okay, well they did get digs. What am I talking about? They did get digs, and that's kind of exciting. as a signing for Diggs, it should be great for Drake May because this could put Drake May on a Josh Allen trajectory, but I don't know. I don't know because I mean, is he ahead of schedule health wise? I don't know. They say he is, but we've been burned, so
How do you think
um,
the relationship is? Is he getting kicked out? Is it, just as a Diggs Allen relationship? You
oh,
think Maniac's doing that?
I'm hoping, dude. I mean, honestly, that would make me excited, but
Yeah.
they could.
I've moved off. I love Drake, but I pivoted off of him a little bit. I've tiered up to some quarterbacks that have been top five every single year. Like it's just I look at it and I get it, but we see second year quarterbacks get the hype. They just push up that draft board, and next thing you know, they come back down to reality. Um, so if you have one dynasty team and you love Drake May, keep Drake May. If you have 32 dynasty teams and you have 7 shares of Drake May, maybe cut down to 5. All right, let's break down some prospects, Smitty. You are hosting the rest of this show. What do you got for me?
All right, so we're about to talk about some rookie prospects, and I'm trying to figure out which position should we start with. We're doing receivers. Receivers are quietly they're not as fun and attractive as running backs, but they got their own thing going on. So we want to talk about some of these receivers here, and we have to start with Tedoror McMillan. Tedoror McMillan. I realized I didn't write his age. Anyways, Tedoror McMillan, University of Arizona. We all know he's possibly the best pure receiver in this draft coming up.
I don't think so.
No, okay. Well, who do you like more?
Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden's going to be the first wide receiver drafted off the board.
Okay, here we go. I gotta be honest with you. I am pretty sick of the Matthew Golden hype. I'm over it. I just think he's officially overrated, and which is so weird because now it's seeming like Roy McMillan, we're gonna call him T Mac because I just don't know what to do with the name. T Mac is seeming to get underrated because of Mr. Golden. And honestly, I'm watching some Golden highlights right now. Like he's a dog for sure, and I love the speed, but I'm more impressed by Ted.
It it's scheme. Okay, it's scheme
Okay.
because I believe the Dallas Cowboys are drafting Matthew Golden at the 12. And I believe they're going to draft him over T Mac. I love it, by the way. They're going to draft it over Team Official. Stamp it. They're going to draft him over T Mac because he fits their system. They don't need that. They need him to be working the way he runs his routes, middle of the field. They have CD Lamb already. They don't need that. And I don't think T Mac and CD Lamb complement. Like, you're drafting your T Mac to be the number one. But I really like Golden going to the Cowboys, dude. Like, I am like penciling it in. I think it's going to happen.
Well, to be honest, if that's the case, but you say he's gonna be the first drafted guy off the board. Like I'm looking at Carolina. They have okay. Here's some news. They have been going around saying that they feel like Leggett is going to take a step up. They feel it in their bones. Hopefully for Leggett because those shares are cheap right now. So if you want some Leggett and if you want to believe in what Carolina's putting down, get some Leggett. But you think they're probably gonna go defense or just not even? They're not even gonna bother with Ted. So
If
I
they
don't
do,
know.
I think their draft pick is too high to draft T Mac. That's why if they're targeting him, I think they're going to trade back. So if I got a top 10 pick, dude, Ted ain't a T Mac. He's not. He's not that. There's too many other good players in this draft that are so much better at their positions than T Mac is. Like, this isn't Malik Neighbors, man. This isn't what
That's true.
Marv did. This isn't Brian Thomas Jr. Like, I love the stats. Don't get me wrong. I do. But look I'm in Arizona. I watched a lot of those games. Like, he's a good receiver. He's not like, I don't think he's him. But I
You know
think you
what?
could draft a him where Carolina's drafting.
You know what? For you to set it up like that, it was perfect because at the end of the day, looking at these wide receiver prospects, we do have to temper our expectations. We can be excited with these guys as much as we want. I like how you really, really love Golden, or at least what he could be in Dallas, which is pretty sick. I could love a guy like Ibuka, who is pretty awesome at Ohio State, but we should be thinking wide receiver two at best. And realistically, at least in 2025, they're going to produce as like wide receiver threes.
Yeah, I don't believe there's a wide receiver one in this draft class. Unless you're going to get some guy like Puka, some guy like Diggs that like just are drafted later that just like that we really don't know about. We're not those guys. Like we're not those guys. But I just don't think there's a one, man. I don't know. And I also, by the way, I really like Golden, possibly the Cardinals. I like Luther possibly to the Cardinals. You want to talk some Luther?
Dude. Okay, well, let's
Wait,
look
I'm
this.
not. I'm not hosting this. You are.
Well, no, like now I'm looking at the draft board here. I'm just saying, okay, well, now that we're officially thinking of these guys as wide receiver twos, okay, let's do Luther Burden. Luther
Okay.
Burden, he is okay. I'm just trying to look right now. I'm looking up and down. Where would he be a pretty awesome wide receiver two? I don't think New Orleans should do this jump now. So maybe in the second round. Maybe I should just pull up the second round. Anyways, I think Luther can be awesome with Olave. I think that would be pretty great and exciting. I don't know what how to feel about Sheed, but I think he'd be awesome there. If Chicago really, no, they won't do that. Uh, what do you think about the Colts receiving? Do you okay? So they got Pittman, who they locked up. They got Downs, who we love. Adnan Mitchell, I don't know. Should they add a dog like Luther?
Uh, did they need a tight end?
They need a
I
tight.
just think they need a tight end. Like
They
they just
for
really need a tight end. And I
they,
do think there's two good ones. And if they don't get one of them, they can definitely get the second one where they're picking. Um, I think there's a lot of wide receivers that are just like Josh Downs and just like AD in here. Like Luther's kind of fits that mold. Um, we need to start realizing that this is just not a good wide receiver class.
it's so funny because I'm really accepting that in real time. I'm like, it's so crazy because I was here thinking, my goodness, Mecca Buka. I really love what he was doing out in Ohio State. Uh, he could, he could probably be one of the best wide receiver twos, but uh, it's
And
nothing
when
to write home about.
the good
So,
thing about the good thing I think about the wide receivers is I think they're going to be drafted to be the two, all of them. And I think they'll be better as a two than trying to be a one. So any of these guys go, next to and Lad, I think great fit next to Marv, next to BT Jr., next to these guys that are true alpha, ones. I just think any of them will fit in really good. And the one I'm going to like better when the day's done is the one that has the best one on the other side of the field. Same
oh,
reason why Addison's going crazy. If you give me the next to BT Junior versus Marv, oh, I don't want to say it. Marv, I love you. I have been so mean today. I have been
and it's been
so
really fun to watch,
mean.
but it's been
No,
really
it's not.
But I mean, honestly, you're such a BT Junior fan, and I mean, God, who amongst us isn't? Um, okay, so all right, well, let's talk about these guys in a rookie draft. So Ted is kind of going in the 102, 103 range. You think that's pretty rich, and that's like compared to the Ohio State running backs, and for sure compared to Loveland and Warren.
All right, so let's talk format here. Are we in a start 10 or start 11?
11, 11. The more the merrier. We love a big roster. I mean, a big
Tight
start.
end premium?
Yes. 0.75.
0.75. Two tight ends or one?
One.
All right. Let me get some rankings pulled up here. So let's talk 101, Genty.
NT.
All right.
And I kind of
Now,
want to slam. I kind of want to slam Hampton at 102.
so I'm kind of not there.
Okay.
Yeah, like Warren. Warren's 102.
Warren 102, dude. You know what's so great? You can get that
0.75
pay
premium.
right now.
Huh?
Do it.
0.75 premium.
Mhm.
I'm just drafting Warren. I don't know.
That is I really want to say that's wild, that's crazy, that's insane, but no, you started the pod off right. I mean, like earlier in the pod, you really made a lot of sense. Like this guy is was uber productive in college, and for that, and he's probably one of the only tight ends that can actually translate that to NFL and improve a team. So for that to be the case, he's going to be uber productive here, even with the Colts, even with
Half half point, I don't draft him to two. I
you don't.
don't.
Okay, okay. 1.75. You would take Warren at two. That is. I love the balls. I love the balls, honestly. I really do because it makes a lot of sense.
No
I
risk it, no biscuit, man.
hmm?
No risk it, no biscuit. I've done stupider shit, right?
I mean, but this is not dumb. That's what's great about it. It's not dumb at all. It makes too much sense. It's just we all haven't really caught up to that because maybe also I think a part of, or for me at least, I can't not speak for everyone, but I'm actually very scared to over evaluate Colston Loveland or Warren because of what Bowers did. Bowers' situation was very unique, and he got so lucky for Adams to just leave, right? If Adams didn't leave, I don't know what to say about Bowers.
I don't care about where Warren lands. I do care where the love man lands. That I really do care about. This dude lands in Denver or he lands with the Chargers. I'm gonna go through the roof on the love of that man. If he ends up with the Colts, I don't like that as much as I would like it for Ward. I think Warren's a better can't bust prospect.
Oh no, for sure. Now, what if he landed with in the Jets with Justin Fields? Would that be pretty sick as well?
Warren? No, I'm in.
Oh, not
I'm
Warren,
in.
Loveland. I mean,
Um,
there's no way he gets traded. I mean, drafted above Warren, but
I know I could get him later in a rookie draft than where I would actually draft him. But let's talk about where we left Tess. So Genty, Warren, Hampton. Can we put all that above T Mac?
yes,
You're
yes.
not ready to put Warren above T Mac, are you?
I mean, it's I'm gonna have to sleep on it, but you made a very compelling point. You really did. Like, it makes too much sense, especially in the premiums.
Would you
But
draft T Mac above Ward? I would draft Ward over T Mac. Just
I don't
because
know.
the scarcity
I
of
don't think
quarterback.
I don't think I can do it. Because here's the thing. I actually think so. Number one, I've warmed up to the idea of Ward being in Tennessee. I think that situation is way better than I
That's a,
thought because they're actually
I
trying.
think that's great in my opinion. That's a
See what?
great landing. That's a great landing
That's a
spot for
great
Ward.
landing spot.
Yeah.
And they could totally like in now that we're talking about all these receivers, like if any of these guys, like even Besh wants to pair up with Calvin Ridley later in the draft, that's great. That's fantastic.
Hmm. And you're not drafting Ward to go be Jaden Daniels. You're drafting Ward to learn and really start relying on him year 2 and 3.
Yeah. Would I do that over T Mac though? That I don't know. That is because because here's the truth. I'm looking at the highs, right? I'm looking at what he did against New Mexico, I believe. And yep, New Mexico, and that stat line was insane. So I'm just, and plus he does look the part. He really does look like a one, but I mean, but that's amongst kids. So I don't think I'm really ready to draft Ward over him. But however, I would draft the both either Ohio State running back over Ward.
I'm going to read it off, and it's not necessarily in this order. So count how many names I read off here, okay, Smitty?
Okay.
Genty, Ward, Hampton, Henderson, Warren, Jukins, depending on the landing spot, Loveland, Dart, if he goes to Pittsburgh, T Mac. Not in that order, but how many?
Eight.
Huh?
The 108 or the 109 actually.
Uh,
109.
I have
That
T Mac at the 109. And if Sanders lands drafted top part of it and he lands in New York, like some mocks are showing, um, he's above T Mac then. And especially if he goes
I
in the
cannot
third,
be that one.
not back not fall to the back end of the first.
Dude, you're gonna have little to no team X shares, and you're okay with that.
I have no teams that actually need a wide receiver. I mean, maybe I have a
Yeah,
few,
well, that's the truth.
but I don't have a difference maker that's going to push a needle on a team, and I just want to try that I can find it somewhere else, with a positional advantage and just the possibility of a average okay wide receiver. Like if I have a imagine if I have a Jaden Reed, I have a I mean I don't even know, but man, I guess I am down on T Mac.
You know what I'm gonna do? So when we come back, when we the next time we pod, I'm gonna think about where, like, just putting him amongst already established NFL receivers. I'm gonna see how I actually feel about T Mac, and I'll probably also realize that he is not he's probably not gonna crack the top 24, especially with that class that came in last year.
Yeah. If Golden gets drafted before T Mac,
That's another one.
T Mac is going to be fully landing spot matters at that point for me.
Dang, dang, that's interesting. So okay, if you have the I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna put how to really ask this. So you would okay. So first off, you would rather have Marvin Harrison, even though you've been crapping on him a lot, over T Mac. That's true, right?
There is no wide receiver in this draft that I would trade a first round draft pick for, which means I don't want any of them because I don't even want to draft them first round of this one.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this pod rocks. Like,
Unless
where?
I'm an idiot. I could be an
No,
idiot.
I think you made a great
We'll
point.
we'll do a little short clip when like we have like four wide receiver ones come out of the draft class and just have complete mud on my face. All right, because I could be so wrong, and I am a lot. So I want to talk
I
running backs. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about running backs.
I don't know if we have the time, but yeah, actually, we can probably
We
speak.
got the time, man. We got a 2 week break. I'm going to Europe next week. We got time.
Well, there we go. All right, let's get right into it. These running backs, ladies and gentlemen, these are the most exciting players in this draft class. I'm gonna say by far because, as we spoke, there's only one real tight end next to outside of Loveland, and wide receivers we're just not that hype on, and quarterbacks it's really Ward, Shadur. You like Dart quite a bit. I don't know, but here we are.
Landing spot. It's all about landing spot. If he gets drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers and they legitimately don't get Aaron Rodgers, like I'm in. And to be honest with you, I probably would be in if Aaron was there anyway. But that's a perfect landing spot. They're drafting him to be the future, so I'm in. If he, I mean, if he goes to Cleveland, I don't know if I'm drafting him just because they are so horrible at drafting quarterbacks.
Yeah, you know what? Also, Cleveland's. I completely forget their offensive line is ugly. Like I don't want
Cleveland's cursed.
Cam near there, and I thought I did.
Every woman in the entire world literally put their heads together and put the juju jinx of all juju jinxes when they signed Deshaun Watson after all of that. They are cursed. I mean, they're cursed, man. They have so many things to fix, and they do have a good defense. They have a good coach.
They have a great.
They need some wide receivers. They need some offensive line. They need a quarterback. They need running backs. I mean, like they need. I mean, they just need to trade David Njoku and set the man free.
Honestly, God, come to LA, man. We would love it. But yeah,
Oh God,
yeah.
if
Sorry, Cleveland.
that would kill Puka. If Adams and Njoku are there, dude.
Honestly, yeah. The Stafford will be overwhelmed. He'll be like,
Oh my goodness, I would. I'd lose my mind. But all right, running backs. Hit
all
me.
right. So Ashton Genty this is our 101. We love him the most. We feel like he's gonna be the most sustainable, or at least yeah, we feel like he's gonna be the most sustainable. We don't quite we don't quite have him in the Gibbs tier. We don't quite have him in the Bijan tier, but he's amongst them, and he's like probably a step below, and that's pretty awesome. So we love Genty. I think Omar and Hampton is kind of in the same tier as Genty. I understand that Genty, what he does is far more exciting, but Hampton, Dude can do it all. He looks great. Oh my God! Speaking of looks, if we're gonna objectify real
This
quick,
hair,
you
this
see,
hair.
dude, have you seen Ashton Genty during his pro days? Like that man looks insane.
Oh, he does. Did remember I sent you the video of him doing the weight thing? I'm like, oh my god, dude. Right now, I'm gonna talk about another right back. I want you to pull up Omarion Hampton's picture when you click on his name in Sleeper and look at that hair. Woo, man, he might be my favorite player. I love Hampton. Absolutely love him.
Yes,
Um,
love to hear that.
so I love so many of these people. Like, I love Henderson. You like Judkins more than Henderson. I like Henderson more than Judkins, but I think we'll settle that debate with the landing spot. There's a legitimate chance Henderson or Judkins is going to end up in with the Chargers or the Broncos, possibly. Or if they don't go in the first round, we're looking at Dallas for possibly one of them because I do think Dallas is going to draft their running back in this with their second pick, and I think they'll have a choice of a bunch like some really good names.
Dude, I'm actually you made so earlier when you were talking about you're doing best balls, you were in best ball drafts, and these rookies are pushing pros down, and you're wondering if that's gonna happen in real life, dude, or is this gonna happen in the real draft? One of these guys that we absolutely love is going to be behind a dog, and it's going to be so annoying.
Don't you? No, you're not
I,
going to change.
I think you hit on a great point earlier. Like, dude, I'm nervous. Like, so Trayvon Henderson and uh, Quinshon Judkins are for sure not going to be in the first round, which sucks because both of them deserve it. But they're not going to be in the first round. So with that being the case, they could go in. They could be second, or they're for sure day two guys. And they can go anywhere. That's what's scaring me. But despite that, they're both going to be fantastic on whatever team they are. Uh,
So
going down the
five.
list. Mhm.
The number is five for me, and what I mean by that is, I think there's five running backs that can actually be a workhorse running back. They're always going to end up in some sort of system where there'll be somebody there, but has the possibility in the work set. Genty, Hampton, Henderson, Jukins, Johnson. Um, I think Caleb Johnson can absolutely be a lead back in the NFL. Like, I think those are slam dunk picks, unless NFL teams see something that none of us see right now and is like, no, that's not going to transition well. But I think those are five guys that could be one. Then I want you to
I
count.
don't know about Caleb Johnson just yet. I mean, he
All right,
should.
so four. So let's just say four then.
And then, and honestly, I don't even know about Henderson just because of his injury history. Dude, you know what? Honestly, we could say five because I'm going to put Cam Scatterbo on that list. I think he for sure could be an absolute one. I
I do
mean,
too.
maybe I'm hyping him up, but the dude can catch. Like that dude has freaking hands. Like that. I mean, you can look at some of these teams right now with middling pass catchers. Put him on that team. Oh my god, he
He's
might be
got
wide
heart.
receiver one.
He's got heart.
And
He,
he has heart. And he don't care. Like he will knock up.
yeah,
Jesus, he makes me
he's a
think
dog.
violent thoughts. It is so sad.
Yeah, and I get it. I know some people are saying maybe his game isn't going to transition well to the NFL because maybe he does not as fast as some of these backs, but I think the toughness does. And I'm good. I think he's like a James Conner. Like I love the man. Um, like if he goes to Pittsburgh, like
Oh my
Warren. Yep, you're never going to get that lead back role, Warren. I'm sorry.
god.
All right, so hold on. Let's count this one. All right, count all these people for me. Genty, Hampton, Henderson, Jukins, Johnson, Neal, Gordon, Scattenbow, Sampson, Blue, Martinez, James. How many?
11.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't give up a second round pick for any of those 11. Like right there. So, where we're spreading out over the draft, you add your tight ends in there, you'll add your wide receivers in there, your quarterbacks in there, and that's pretty much the whole second round, right?
Yeah. Wow. And you're saying you wouldn't give. So you're saying like if you have a second round pick, you're making that pick. That
I'm making the pick. I'm not going to trade it for another running back.
yeah. Honestly, I like that move. it's just that some of these players I do want to become. Some of those guys you mentioned, I want to become a Charbonnet. Charbonnet is on my mind. I want to become a Charbonnet. I want to become a Warren. I want to become a B Rob. I want to become even a Travis Etienne, right? Like it's just, and if that's because I might as well just get those actual players than the mystery box. But dang.
I have one more to add to the list. We'll
Uh,
have 12 now. Tuden.
ooh,
I have to take a chance on that speed. I have to.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, this could be a Bucky Brooks. This could be,
a
you
hundred
know,
percent.
a Achon.
You
Like, I
gotta think
have
about
to take a
yeah,
chance at that.
100%. And you know what? When we did our first mock draft, it seemed a little rich, but you drafted him at the 108. I'm like, dang.
That was after he blew up the combine, though, man. That
No,
was,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was thinking about that a lot today. I'm like, dude, you know how we love to do those, like, in 2026, we're gonna do the 2025. No, hold on, listen to this. In 2026, we're gonna do a 2025 redraft. Tuden could for sure actually beat the 108. Like, I mean, his speed is undeniable. Like, we might have Henderson at the 104, sure, but when we get to the 108, I mean, none of the, as we've established earlier, it's not going to be any of those receivers. He might actually really be the one. Like, I was just actually blown away by the foresight. If he has, wow.
you want to know why I'm laughing so hard? No joke, Smitty. Every time I see his name, I literally think, I can't believe I drafted him at the 108.
No way. No way, because at first we're like, oh man, he really likes that speed. But it's
I
making
love
more
speed,
sense
dude.
because like you said, if he gets an opportunity like Bucky, I mean, he's gonna impress. He's gonna smoke people. Like it's gonna be so sad and embarrassing. Like how good he is. Like it's
How high are you on Bucky? Like,
I'm man,
I
that's
think
the
he's overvalued, but
he's for
I
sure overvalued.
love having him on my team.
Yeah, it's almost like here's the truth. And I hate to even admit this, but here we are. I was in such disbelief. Like I couldn't believe Puka Nakua's rookie season. It was so incredible to where it genuinely didn't feel real. It felt like a dream that I really like made up because oh, we drafted this guy in the fifth round and he's already in the playoffs. Like he took us to the freaking he made Stafford want to stick around. Like it just this can't be real.
LATD, baby.
Some dude named Puka Nakua, like that. What? None of it seemed real to me. Like I really thought I was out here dreaming all this. And so I'm like, there's no way this is real. I sold him a lot just because I couldn't believe what was happening. So my Puka shit are screwed now. But I'm wondering if it's kind of the same thing with Bucky. Like he had such an incredible rookie season. It's like, well, Bucky, who is
And
he?
he did it over like half a season, too. That was a crazy part. But you brought me back to that rookie year of Puka. Do you remember in like redraft when, week 1 or 2? Do
Yeah,
you remember when the biggest debate is who were you who were you going to pull off waivers? It was 204 or Puka. Remember when that was debated? They both went out there and slammed to like number ones at their position.
yes, yes. And it's so funny because I was not ever surprised by Kyron Williams. I mean, I was, but it wasn't in the level of Puka. Like Puka, what he was doing was freaking unreal.
Wow.
But
I I remember when he hit those first couple of games. You sat back and say, "Who the f is Puka Nakua? Puka? Yep,
it really just didn't seem
my guy."
sustainable. I don't know. I'm such an idiot for not believing that beautiful dream. But yeah, that's how I feel about Bucky. And honestly, that's kind of how I felt about Devontae Chan too. But boy, did he step up here too. So if Devontae Chan can step up here too, so can Bucky. So the point is this: I think we might be he might be properly rated. He might be Bucky, but I for sure don't want to pay that price. I want to pay that
Listeners,
price. I'd rather get a Brees Hall, but I don't know. That's looking scarier these days.
I think the bottom line is, listeners, if you've listened to this podcast for a long time, the fact that I am so excited to talk about running backs should tell you how amazing this running back class is. I want everything to do with these running backs. And I'm just don't trade your picks. Just pick them. You got 3 seconds. Just take three of them and maybe one hits. Like just go for it. This is This is the draft, the rookie draft that zero RB strategies live for, like myself. You're going to get some usable pieces, some real usable pieces, whether or not it's an true RB1 or just like a spot starter, a guy goes down and just explodes up. Like you are going to get some useful touches from a lot of these guys.
Yeah, and then like we're looking at redraft. A lot of these guys are going to be on waivers, probably even the last few picks of
Oh my, I
not
haven't
rookie
even
draft,
thought
redraft.
about that.
Ooh,
This is the zero RB year then. If you can get a lot of these
100%.
dudes up, this is the zero RB year.
Oh man, dude, I mean, I might take the approach. I can't. I can't. I love me the Bijans. I love me the Kyrans. It's gonna be tough, but
Yeah, but think about it. The pendulum's going to swing after what the running backs did last year because they all stayed healthy.
100%.
So it's going to push these running backs. I mean, we wide receivers being drafted at 101s, 102s in some drafts. Like it's going to push that there. So you might just get that value. And imagine if you went Justin Jefferson, come back around Drake Superflex, maybe Drake London ish in there.
Yeah.
Come back with another wide receiver on the back end of that a stud, but then you get Jutkins late, or you get a Henderson in there, or you get, you know, imagine. Oh, that's
Yeah, that's a stacked team, dude. And then like even with I'm really liking the idea of what where Devon Chan will go in the redraft because no, he's still gonna be up there.
yeah. I'm not as high on him this year.
Dang. I don't know, I just feel like there will be zero to no change in that Miami offense.
I think he's going to go back to boomer bust because I think his usage last year is unsustainable, like for a small back.
Okay. Okay.
They Do you remember when it was like those 5 game stretch where they were literally like running him like 25 times, giving him like 10 targets? It's like, what the hell? I don't think they could do that again.
Great point.
So I think you're gonna have to rely on the big play.
Hey, that's a great point. That's a great point. We
Who
might
has a better year, Bucky or Achon?
say what?
Bucky or Achon? Who has a better year? This was
Man.
really close to me.
It's close to me as well, but I'm gonna say Bucky. I'm gonna say Bucky. Actually, no. I'm gonna go H-on because Rashad White's still there, and he's no bum. He's no bum. So it's the backup situation for me. So I'm gonna go with the
As a,
Devon H-on.
I feel like it should be Devon. Like I feel like that should be the answer. Um, I don't actually want to make that decision. I don't want to make that decision at all. But I probably, yeah, you're right. Achon probably.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay just lost their offensive coordinator, so a little bit of change there. So
oh,
I'd go Buzz.
I didn't even think about that. That oof.
All right, we're gonna get out in a second.
This new person's probably gonna want to run Bucky into the ground. Then just be like, dude, you're so amazing. Just keep it going.
All right, we need to figure out the floor for Bucky. We need to figure out. So, all right, Buzz Lightyear goes before him.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Walker or Bucky.
Bucky for sure. Sucks so
Okay,
lucky not. KW not.
Bucky for
I
sure.
love him.
Then James Cook.
Yeah, I'd rather have Bucky.
Okay. Omari and Hampton, regardless of where he lands.
This sucks, man. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Bucky, even though I praise Hampton every chance I get, but I'm gonna have to go Bucky there.
Damn, dude. Chase Brown or Bucky?
Oh, Bucky for sure. Dude, I'm seriously red alert, worried about him. Like because like as we mentioned, if any of these, oh my goodness, the Bengals have
Christian
the
McCaffrey or
opportunity to
Bucky?
draft one of these OSU running backs if they wanted to.
Yeah. Seriously, redraft. CMC or Bucky?
CMC or Bucky? I'm gonna have to go Bucky there.
I think we found it. I mean, all right. So pretty friggin' high. The
Yeah.
pick behind Achon.
Yeah. I think that's exactly where it is. I think that's
Okay,
exactly.
we nailed it. Anything else you want to go over on these rookies before we get out of here?
And I mean. I just like you said, stat class. I'm still trying to figure. You know what? At one point, at some point, I'm gonna come in and start ranking them or putting them in tiers. I just have yet to do that. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think we're going to need landing spots for that. Let's let the NFL
yeah,
figure it
I
out.
think that
All
is.
right. All right, listeners, we're going to take a little bit of a break. I got to apologize. My wife booked a vacation. It is literally, I'll be in Europe through the draft. Now, I'm going to try my best to wake up and get on this damn live stream with Smitty over here, and we're going to break down this draft when it happens. I'm going to do my best. If my wife does not allow me to do that, I am sorry. I'm not fighting that fight. So we might have draft content a little later than we'd like. But all right, guys, thanks for listening. Cheers.